that's something you necessarily wanted to share with the world. But here
No,
we
no
go.
more rambling. No more rambling.
Welcome, 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 world, YouTube world, Facebook world. Okay, so today we're so excited to have you join us.
That's something you necessarily wanted to
share
with the world.
Now we have.
No more rambling. No more rambling.
We have been enjoying ourselves.
YouTube world, Facebook world.
Let me just
Delay.
other version. And I want to say today we're so excited because we have you with us, joining us today. And so we are talking about this book, The 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life After COVID-19. And we're talking about secret number 4 of the 10 secrets, okay, to overcoming fear and living our best lives. And that would be proximity. So last week we talked about the secret number 3, which was momentum. And if you want to see 2 and 1, you got to go to YouTube and click on them. Do a search, askarleneshow.com, and then search for those. And or you need to join our Mastermind group, and then you'll get to talk with us within the network and be able to share your thoughts and comments and ideas, as well as the people who are on with us live. Okay, so secret number 4, proximity. What is proximity? So I was on live with a coach, and she said to me she didn't know what proximity was. So people talk about mentoring and networking and having somebody to show you the way, per se. But I'm calling it proximity because who you spend your time with impacts greatly what you manifest in your life. So you will make earnings within $5,000 of the people that you spend your time with. So if that doesn't make you think about it and say, what is this proximity thing? Then I don't know what will. Okay.
You're speaking, your voice is coming a lot lower than it was at first. I'm not sure what happened.
Let's give you some more volume if I can.
Yeah.
All right. So we start. It says, if you have the book, take it out. If you have the ebook, take it out. If not, just follow along with me. It says, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise. This is a proverb. It's Proverbs 13:20. And proximity is nearness in place, time, order, occurrence, or relationship. Now, you will earn, as I said, within $5,000 of the people that you spend most of your time with. So the question is, who are you spending your time with? Who are the people that you're engaging with? Are they lifting you up, illuminating you, giving you wisdom, helping you to go to the next level? Or when you share your go up goals, there are people who are pulling you down and discouraging you and saying, you can't do that. What? That doesn't make any sense. You need to, rewind and do something else. Go get a job. Go do something regular, because this thing that you have in mind is too great. It's too big. Now, one of the previous sessions that we did, we talked about how everybody who's here is here for a purpose. You're here for something great. You're here for something big. And we talked about literally the number of sperm that had to compete in order for you to be here. Whether it was 6 million or 6,000, I don't remember, but we gave the exact numbers and they're in the book. So the idea is that you're here for a reason, a purpose, a plan. And so secret number 1 was clarity, knowing what that purpose is, endeavoring to decide. Okay, so while you're on the call today, I want you to be thinking about the answer to these 3 questions. What is it that I want? Why don't I have it yet? And what do I need to do to get it? So we know that proximity is going to be the answer because you need to get close to it. But who is it that you need to be in proximity with in order to achieve that goal? So those are the 3 questions. I want you to write them down and be thinking about them while we're going through. So secret number 1, never take success advice from people who are less off than you. Okay? If the person is jacked up and they're giving you advice about how you can do better, Leroy, don't listen to them. How you can do better, Dennis, don't listen to them. And how you can do better, Omika, stop listening to them, because people are constantly interested in talking. Everybody who will talk if you'll listen to them. Okay, do I go to the shoemaker and ask him how to do my hair? No, because he's not an expert in hair. So one of the secrets in proximity is that we need to find people who have achieved the things that we want to achieve, the goals, the dreams, the visions. Those are the people that we talk to about our plans or our visions or our goals, not people who have not achieved it. Okay, because they can't help us. If they could, they'd help themselves. All right, so yes, is that person valuable to the marketplace? Yes. Valuable to the community? Yes. So don't write me nasty notes, okay, about how I said people aren't valuable, okay? Yes, they're valuable, but are they valuable to you right now in terms of your goal, your dream, or your vision, and what you're endeavoring to achieve? No. So stop talking to Pookie and them right now, okay, while you're on the journey. So does it need to be a billionaire? Does it need to be Jeff Bezos that you're speaking to about your business? No, not necessarily. The goal is to get started with somebody. So maybe at this point, your goal is to have $1 million beauty salon. Okay, and so you need to connect with somebody who has $1 million beauty salon. But at this juncture, you don't know that person. You've not seen that person. You don't know where to find them on the web. Can we begin with somebody? Secret number 3, we start with momentum. You take a look around, and so maybe you know one person who actually makes 6 figures and they have a salon, but you're making no figures. You're looking to do a salon. Is that somebody that we could have proximity with? Yes. Do they fit the bill? Yes, because they have proven at this juncture that they have more in the game than you have at this point. So we have to stand on our tippy toes to hang out with that person because that person is a little bit further along in the journey than we are. Is this important? Yes. Does it make a difference? Yes. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was born in America, in the United States, but at a young age, my family sent me to Jamaica to live because that's where my family is from. Okay. So I was born here. I was American. I went there. I was not considered a Jamaican. Okay. I was in proximity with the Americans because those are the people who I knew. These were my people. When I went to Jamaica, I was ostracized. I didn't look like the people there as far as they were concerned. I didn't dress like the people who were there as far as they were concerned. I didn't have the accent. I didn't eat the foods that they ate because I was American. While I was there in Jamaica, guess what happened? I was in proximity with those people. So I began, hey, Binta, how are you? We love you. We're so glad you came with us. You joined. So while I was there, I began to look like them. I began to eat their food. I began to speak with the accent. I became just like them because I was in proximity. When I went back to the United States to school, I was ostracized again because now they considered me to be a Jamaican. I didn't fit. Example, I worked for a major politician. He was a Harvard graduate, law graduate. Down in the city, he had a huge law firm. I mean, this guy was at the top of his game. As well as financially, he lived on the private streets, you know, not just a regular street like everybody else where, you know, the garbage man comes and takes up your garbage. No, no, no. A private street with the private garbage people, okay? You can't even drive down his street. Now, while I was hanging out with him and I moved from my community, okay, because I spent a lot of time in his community with his folks who were people like him, people began to say to me, oh, Arlene, you've changed. You're not the same like us. I don't feel like I changed. I didn't change at all. But did I start to speak like them? Yeah, because those are the people that I was around. Was I telling the same types of jokes as them? Yeah, because those are the people I was around. Was I dressing like them? Yeah, because I was going to meetings with them. I was in close proximity. So what am I saying to you? Why am I emphasizing this? Because proximity means that you're literally going to transform from where you are now and who you are now in order to become the person that you're endeavoring to be. Okay? If you already knew what to do, you'd already have it. Okay? The reason you don't have it yet is because you've not placed yourself in that environment. Okay? So did I go to school and did I shift mentally when I made the transition to the new job capacity? No, I didn't have any more education. I didn't do any more schooling. It was literally taking me from this environment and placing me in this environment. And I began to look like it, talk like it, speak like it, walk like it, think like it, because these were the people I was around. And that's exactly what will happen with you. So the 3 questions that we're dealing with in proximity, which I said I want you to write down and be thinking about, because by the end of these few minutes, I'm going to ask you the question is, what is it that you want? Why don't you have it yet? And who do you need to get in proximity with in order to achieve it? All right, so next point. So perfect love casts out all fear. One of the reasons why we don't have what we say we want to have, or we haven't achieved it yet, is fear. What's the title of the book? 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear. Okay? So a lot of people don't realize it. But the bottom line of the bottom line of the bottom line is fear. Is it really, Binta, that you only know 10% and you're going to learn 90% of what you need in order to achieve that goal? Or is it really that you already know 90%? You've already researched, you've already sat on mastermind groups and calls and talked to people, and you already know 90% of what you need to know. And it's just that 10% that's missing. That's what's happening for everybody listening to this. It's just that 10%. And a part of that 10% is fear, because we haven't yet done it. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of what if they're going to think I'm stupid? What if they're going to say, oh, I didn't do it right? There is no such thing as perfection. Everybody who's doing it, started out doing it wrong. Okay? And you're comparing your start, your now, looking at their end product and saying, well, mine doesn't look like theirs, so maybe I shouldn't, launch this, or maybe I shouldn't speak, or maybe I shouldn't do my mastermind because I don't sound the way they sounded. But guess what? You're comparing your beginning to their end. And we can't do that. That's called fear, okay? And that's a limiting belief. So every limiting belief that we've had in the past concerning this thing, we need to erase it today. And let's take one step forward, because we said the first step was clarity. And we've already gone through that chapter, okay? And then we talked about visualizing the thing that we want. And then the third was starting, moving in the direction. And now today is proximity, all right? So the next one is action steps for working with a mentor. So now that we know that we need that person, that coach, that mentor, that person who's already done it, how are you going to get around them? Who are they? Especially if the person is successful, a lot of people want to be around those successful people, okay? And some people are sitting at home. There's a young lady who I coach. She is a musician, and she was sitting at home. She wanted to launch her music. She wanted to sing. And as a matter of fact, if you listen to the end of my shows, the real television shows, she's the one who's singing. And there's a video of her actually in the studio singing her songs. She's written them, she's produced them. But in the beginning, she wouldn't do it. She said, I'm trying to connect with the people who have music, and they're not responding to me, Arlene. Well, of course they weren't responding to her. She didn't have any music out. She wasn't a singer. There was nothing for them to respond to. Okay, it was all in her head. Oh, I'd like to do this. I wanna, I'm a gonna, no, I'm doing it afraid. Okay, doing it without perfection, just doing it. Get started. When we started this television show a couple of years ago, I didn't know it was 10 secrets to overcoming fear, getting unstuck and living our best life. All we knew was it was COVID, we were doing it, and we were starting a new show. We've done radio, we've done other things, but we didn't have the whole plan. Once you start in the journey, people are going to come to you, okay? And they're going to give you information, and they're going to help you on that journey. I can't tell you, when I wanted to get into politics, there were tons of people. As a matter of fact, there was one person who looked me in the eye and said, you're having visions of grandeur. Visions of grandeur, like I'm crazy, okay? Because I say I want to work with the president of the United States. You're just a regular person. I mean, forget the fact that my major was political science in college, but I didn't know anybody in politics. I didn't have the financial backing as many people in politics do. I didn't have the connections and the contacts. So was it harder for me, maybe, than somebody who was born into it? Yeah. But guys, I worked for the DNC, the Democratic National Committee. I was face to face with the President of the United States at events, working the events, okay? I was in the position, living the life that I had in my heart and I had in my mind. And when I started, it didn't look very pretty. They were knocking me out. Like, who are you? What are you doing here? I didn't even know where here was, where I was supposed to go, where the events were taking place. But little by little, as I kept going on the journey, eventually the pieces of the puzzle came together till people began calling on me and saying, oh, I didn't see you at such and such an event. Why weren't you there? I was like, oh, I didn't know about. Well, the next one is such and such. Whatever it is, you can do it. You're here for a big purpose, a big dream, a big goal, not a little one. Okay, so if it's little, that means you can do it by yourself. And if you can do it by yourself, you'd already done it. Okay, you'd already done it. The reason why you haven't done it yet is because it's big and you can't do it by yourself. You need a coach, you need a mentor, you need to be in proximity with people who are going to empower you and uplift you and help you in that direction. And you already know 90%. You just need a little bit, of guidance. So, as I said, let's get back to the book. Challenge. How many times have you heard a nugget of truth and thought that it was good? Then have gone to get another nugget of truth and continued listening to that audible or continued reading that book. This is your challenge regarding proximity. When you get around a person of wisdom or a book that provides insight, write it down and implement it. Yes, stop the tape, put the book down, pause the webinar, and implement that one item. What did I say? Did she say turn it off? Yes. Put the book down? Yes. And get started on that one item. So a lot of people are talking to these greats and they're getting their mentors and they're getting their counselors and they're getting more information and they're putting it down and they're putting it in their back pockets. That's not what this is about. This is about, proximity is about getting that insight and using it. Because if you walk off and you use that insight, you can come back and say, wow, Arlene, you said to me XYZ. I put it into practice and now I'm manifesting the thing that I want to manifest. What's next? I'm going to spend time with you. Whoever it is that sees you working and using that information is going to want to work with you. They're going to say, wow, this man is serious. Letroy is serious. Dennis is serious. Everybody on this call is serious. You guys are already awesome, right? That's why you guys are the insiders. Okay. I love you guys. You're in the inside. And all of you listening on YouTube and on Facebook, you're on the inside already. You know how I know that you're destined for greatness? Because you're listening to a session about overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living your best life after COVID-19 in relationship to proximity. You would already have turned this off. The average person is not listening to proximity in order to go to the next level. What are they listening to? Something else. Okay, so even the very fact that you're taking time out to invest in this, if we utilize one point, one tool, one technique, and run with it, you're going to see change in your life. Everything in this book, I've lived. I didn't write one word that I heard or I saw or I thought up. These are all things that I lived. I currently live in my dream location because I've utilized the secrets. I was stuck. I got fired from a big job. I was president of a chamber of commerce. My picture was on the cover of the newspaper and on the cover of the magazines. And they were calling my PR person for comments to see, what dirt they could find on me. But there wasn't any dirt, but they were calling, okay? And they wanted my comments on business acumen. But guess what? When I got fired, my face was on the cover of the newspaper and on the cover of the magazine. And I was stuck. And shortly thereafter, my mom acquired an incurable disease. My mom, who had been so healthy and robust, she would go around the track 5 times. And my grandmother was 106 years old. So there was no inclination in my mind that my mom was going to pass away. She contracted this incurable disease and I had to watch her go day by day. So I was really stuck. And then, guys, I was able to come back utilizing these 10 secrets and move forward. You can too. I want to know if you have purchased the book, if you have, there are 5 questions in the back of the book, exercises, things that you can put into action. So this is not a book that you read and you put it down. This is a book that you read and we put into action. So thank you, all of you who have purchased the book. Thank you, all of you who are utilizing it. And I want you to now answer those 3 questions for me in terms of proximity. One activity is get in close proximity with the people who are doing what you want to do. The books, clubs, networking events, Facebook groups, this group, the Millionaire Mastermind group that we have. Who do you know currently? Who do your friends know? Ask them. You gotta ask them because you don't know who people know unless you ask them. 2, who do you want to know? If physical proximity isn't possible, attend those conferences, read their books, watch their videos, pick someone that you resonate with and begin the process, okay? What is your strategy for proximity? How are you gonna get around those people? The people that encourage you, the people that illuminate you, the people that make you stand on your tippy toes to be around them, okay? What will you do to get around these people? And another note is that these people will make you feel uncomfortable. Why? Why? Because they're not going to leave you the same way that they found you, okay? You have to stand on your tippy toes in order to be around them. They stretch you. They cause you to grow. And most of us don't want to be around people who are in our face like that and stretch us. So they tend to not be our closest friends. That's why your coach is not your friend. Your coach is the person who's going to come alongside you and encourage you to go to that next level. And the last one was when you get around those people, listen, don't do all the talking. Ask all of your predetermined questions. Write down the questions that you have ahead of time and ask those questions. That is, get a notebook and write it. Type it on your phone if you need to. You should always be writing and capturing nuggets of wisdom so that you don't forget. Okay, we remember 10% of what we hear. Okay, when we write things down, we remember 76%. And if we actually take action in a group like this, guess what percentage of success we have? We have a 96% success rate. So you should always be writing and capturing nuggets of wisdom so that you don't forget. It's a fact. Regardless of the specific numbers, it's widely agreed upon that we remember more of what we write down than what we merely hear. 5, take action on the things that they say and do the things that they do. Remember, nothing happens until we take action. So in these last few minutes, I'd like you to answer the question. What is it that you want? Why don't you have it yet? And who do you need to get in proximity with in order to get it? Okay, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, because as my trusty co-host Almeka says, I put people on the spot. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, but I see Dennis is raising his hand and he wants to be the first to share. Okay, so let's just do the first question. What is it that you want, Dennis? And they're celebrating you. And let's check while you're speaking.
All right.
Other people who are watching with us, guys, you are welcome to respond as well. You are welcome to type in the chat so that you can participate with us. Okay.
What I want is a great big platform such as this one I'm on for the potential people purchasing power for the book of Conscious Food for Thought.
Okay, so you want a group of people that will be able to purchase your book once it is published.
Preferably a share profit, a whole pool.
Preferably what was that word?
Share profit.
Oh, a whole pool of people.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes. So what I've been doing some research and I found that within a share profit is like a pool of a group think tank. But instead of think tank, it's dollars. you know, so if, you know, X amount of people drop $10 for the purpose and product of for the purpose of the product, you know, it would take a lot of leeway off of a person individually purchasing the book. So even if it's just like, you know, I guess, you know, I'm gonna do some more research on share profiting. But yeah, I would like a group of people to possibly conjure up the people purchasing power to purchase the book in droves.
Okay, beautiful. I say to you, that's doable.
Yes.
That's very doable. You could begin that right now. Okay. Why? The second question is, why is it that you haven't done it yet? But I think based on what I know about you, a better question would be, what is it that you think you need to do now if you wanted to put that group together?
Well, I believe that where I lack at is having a stream of income. You know, I kind of been headstrong on finding a job to have the stream of income to invest in constructing a book, to the poetry book, to produce it. So like I kind of, yeah, I'm looking for the motivation, you know what I mean? Like the outside motivation, because the inside motivation within me is kind of like worn down, but I got this. And this is a wonderful platform. This is enough motivation. It's just, you know, I'm working on it.
Okay, beautiful. I'm so glad that you were willing to share this with us. So I'm not picking on Dennis. Dennis is a part of our mastermind community. So I know him a little bit, and this is why I'm coaching him on this. Dennis, your limiting belief that you mentioned to us is the finances, and you mentioned the motivation. What if I shared with you that you could put this group of people together without having any funds? Then what would you say?
What that will be phenomenal. How what's the next step?
What if there was a way that you could put together a Facebook group, label it with the title of your book, put the description of what it is that you want, and go out and start recruiting people to join the group, even though you don't have the book yet? It's what's called like a group of people who want to purchase the book, even though it's not manifested yet. I did a radio show. This is one of the reasons why I stopped doing radio, guys. I had a full-time job in politics, and I was doing a live radio show at 6 o'clock on Fridays. So I had staff who were sourcing the talent for me to do the radio show. I had a gentleman who was a guest on my show. I talked to the man for half an hour about this book before I realized the man had no book. Okay. He had no book, guys. He was just talking about the proposed book. And here I am on live radio talking about his best-selling book. And he had no book. But I talked to him for half an hour because he was so confident. He had visualized the book. He had all these people buying in, so much so that the producer of my show had put him on a live radio show talking about this book that didn't exist. Okay, so he got press, he got attention, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one that had put him on. So all of this stuff was coming to him about this proposed book. How much do you think he paid me for that interview? How much do you think he paid my, well, you know what? I was going to say, how much do you think he paid my producer? But to be honest, I don't know. Maybe he did slip him a 20. But in all likelihood, the point is that it cost him nothing. He was speaking about the concept of the book as if it was already done. And in so doing, I enrolled in the concept. And I was sharing the concept with thousands of people who were listening to the radio, who were now going to his site, who were now saying they wanted this product that had not even yet been produced. Is it possible that you could put together this group of people even before you actually have the product? Garner a group of people who would be interested in this concept.
Like a pre-sale.
Discuss the concept. Yeah. Is that possible?
Yes, ma'am. We're utilizing this platform. I've found that there's people in Sweden, people in Africa, people in California, people in Texas, people in all types of places. And just by being introduced to you, by being introduced to the group, I have that much more people in full abundance. So, I'm working on perfecting my craft when it comes to constructing this, the poetry book and everything. I got this. I got this. Everything should be done very soon, Coach. Miss Coach Arlene McLaren.
What happens when we seek perfection, Dennis?
Procrastination comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we say should, when we get it together, when we perfect it, as soon as I'm a doer, what happens?
Procrastination.
Exactly. But what about if we removed that concept of fear, like maybe I'm not going to do it right. Maybe they're not going to show up. And we stepped out and we said, wow, I'm already a part of an international network. I have a coach who has produced books, okay, and tapes and done television and radio. I have access to the people within the group. I'm going to open up the group. I'm going to label it with the same title as the title of my book. Next week, next year, next month, no, today. Can we do that? Could we ask people to pre-purchase the book today?
Yes, ma'am.
Could we begin collecting funds for the book today?
Yes, ma'am. Would that be like a fundraiser, or would that be like pre-sale towards like actually purchasing the book?
Absolutely. When
Okay.
I did my first book, which was the 10 Secrets to this is the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear. The other book was 10 Secrets to Networking. I had the concept, I had the book written in the back, but I hadn't produced a multiplicity of copies. I would go to networking events, speak, I would sell the few books that I had, but then I would ask people to make donations to the big publication that I endeavored to make. And people made publications. When people believe in you and they believe in the product and you keep talking about it on air, on lives, they keep hearing it, you're excited, they get excited. Why wouldn't they join? Remember, people don't buy based on reality and facts. You know what people buy based on? Emotion. Think of your last purchase. You bought it because you wanted it. You bought it because you liked it.
Yeah. I got a passion for shopping.
Does anybody really need a BMW when you can drive a Pinto? Do we really need one? Does it get you where you want to go? Yes, guys. Yes. But what do? We want what we want. All the commercials that they throw at us. If you drive this, there's the woman with her leg crossed and her teeny tiny dress. If you drive this, you're going to get this fancy woman. That's emotion. That's not fact. You know consciously that if you buy this car, it doesn't come with that woman. But they're putting it there because we buy based on emotion. You're excited about your product. And even on this call, in this group, you've gotten other people who are also excited, who've actually contacted me and said, how do I get in touch with Dennis? Am I making this up? No, no. So today, I challenge you, go
No,
online,
ma'am.
start
Yeah.
the group, put the title as the title of the book, and start not recruiting, but start sharing and enrolling people in the cause. People want to help. People want to be a part of. Nobody wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy. Okay? Because when
Yes,
we
ma'am.
buy, we feel good. I bought it, but nobody wants to be sold. Okay, so that's my coaching for you.
Mhm.
Who else wants to share before we click off? What is it that is your goal that you'd like to achieve?
LaTroy has his hand off.
Let's
up.
try.
There we go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and answer the questions. I think the questions are very important, as questions hook the mind. And so when we get asked empowering questions, we get different realities from those questions. So your first one being what do I want?
What is it that you want?
First one I want is freedom. So it's different for me. Freedom being in my relationships, my finances, my fitness, my faith, and my fulfillment. To be free in all those areas of always having the choice to choose the direction in all those areas that I want for my life.
Okay. My initial question for you is, which is the one you want to work on now?
Fulfillment.
In
Myself.
fulfillment in yourself. What does that mean to you?
So for me, that means is not being afraid to express myself, to let this thing. So for me, it's the coaching for me, and bringing that gift to everybody that crosses my path, starting with my family, because that's where I spend most of my time, is in my home, my community, and then not being afraid, not needing that outside validation to bring it to the world at that point.
Okay, so just if I repeat to you what I heard, and anybody else who heard something different, you're free to share. But what I heard you say was not being afraid to share your product, personage,
My product and service.
product or service. Okay. See, that's more clearly defined than the initial one. That's something we can wrap our arms around and know whether you've achieved it or not. That's one of the key steps in clarity. If it's not clear enough, then how do we know when we've achieved it? But that's pretty clear. Okay, not being afraid to share your product or service. Question number 2. Why have you not been sharing your product or service in the past?
For me, is commitment, the level of commitment to myself, which I've noticed that reflects in my own self-worth, which kind of doesn't get my heart involved with the task that I desire. So when I'm not committing to myself, I'm involving myself more in my intellect, and my intellect doesn't get the desire down for me. My heart's not on the same page as my intellect. And so for me, as I've learned and begin to move closer to that, is just committing, getting my heart on board with it, the thing I would love to do, and staying in that place of my heart so that I can get my feet to move.
So are you saying that the reason why you have not achieved it yet, speaking about your product or service, is because your heart was not into the product or service?
I wouldn't say that, but haven't sold myself at the level of reaching the audience at the level I want to reach. So I didn't sold myself on my own idea first. And I let my intellect guide me towards those places of my paradigms and restrictions, instead of for the love of the thing I wanted to do. So I was feeding my fears more than I was feeding my faith and belief in what I wanted to do.
What's your
Can I chime in?
want to do? What's your product that you want to do?
First product is to help people to see themselves. So in the form of coaching,
You're a coach.
yes, I do experiential coaching. So I don't believe in leading someone anywhere that I haven't been to yet, first myself. So to lead myself so that I could lead people to that place, because I spent 25 plus years of my own life, the blind leading the blind. So I want to guide. My life has been just messy enough for me to actually talk about some stuff.
Okay, so we have limited time, and I want to give everybody who wants an opportunity to say something to at least share what their project is. So you're saying the reason why you haven't achieved selling that product was because initially you didn't believe in the product. You didn't believe you could do it because you didn't have the experience yourself.
Yes, I was still letting yesterday's thoughts guide my feet instead of just being present with myself with where I want it to go.
Okay, so what do you need to do now in order to sell those products? Or not sell, but in order to share your products and share your voice with the people who need your help?
Surround myself with the people that can keep my energy in the right place. Acting.
Proximity.
Yeah. Acting on my intuition every day. So new decisions, not old decisions, but making one new step every day so that I can get in that space and stay in that space of creation so that I can really help myself be in that place more.
Okay, so when you coach with me, you're going to find that I believe in keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple. So if it's simple, then it's something you can do. If it's too many words and it's too big, and it should be so that a child can understand it. If you tell this kid, this is what I'm doing, the kid can pick it up and run. There's a proverb and it says, write the vision, make it plain so that people can hear it and run with it. Just like with Dennis, we heard it and we're like, okay, I could run with that. I could support that. So the one question I have for you, and this is just the last thing, is what are you doing? Give me one action step that you can take that illustrates you moving in that direction. That's what I didn't hear yet.
So one thing I've done this past week, I went to a political event to surround myself around the people who have the things I want. And I reached out to one of the gentlemen there who's going to give me an opportunity to go speak in schools at assemblies and universities.
Okay, follow up. Beautiful. So that sounds good. Excellent. Congratulations. Who else wants to share?
Can I say something real quick?
I'm gonna give everybody else an opportunity that wants to share first, only because it's 2:50. It's 57 minutes after the hour. I'd love to hear what you have to say, though, Dennis. Go ahead, Omeka.
Yeah. Just what I want is to. It makes me nervous. Okay, scratching yourself.
That's good.
I want to launch my drumming. My pray, heal, drum, and prosper. Okay, I need to get clear. Is it a business or not? I'm having hesitating saying business endeavor. Okay, business. Yeah. Well, it's Patreon, Facebook group, capture pages, individual drum healing sessions, and Mastermind and drum circle.
Okay, so those are
saying all that, that's overwhelming. So you think you have to do all these things at the same time. Okay.
So give me one that we're going to work on.
I'm gonna work on the capture page.
For launching.
Actually, all I have to do, because that's just too simple, because really I have to do is take a video. I created a video. And
wait. Before we go to that, are you selling to people, teaching
and finish my CD? So I'm selling the CD, and the vault is where money will be exchanged for now.
So you're doing two things. You're selling CDs of you playing the drum, and then you're enrolling people in the vault, in your mastermind in the vault.
Yeah, Patreon is like a $5, probably $5 or $10 monthly something that I give people, maybe even weekly.
Okay, do you already have the video that you're gonna sell?
The CD, now I have it, but I need to put it in another form so that I can upload it. And that, like I said this in the beginning, I said if it's gonna take 5 minutes, I'll do it 5 minutes. But if it's gonna take an hour or two, I need to schedule out, I need to make time to do it. I'm just keep saying I need to do it, but you gotta make time to do it. So. I decided to enter a contest. The contest was a certain amount of time. There was a deadline. So just creating that for myself. That's where the accountability of a group and a coach can come in. So the first thing, upload the video. I have the video. And my mind is telling me it ain't good enough. I'm like, I promise people a video for them to put their information in. Affirmations and drumming video. And that is what it is. It could be a lot more, but it's 15 minutes of me live drumming. Like, no, you know.
What's the cost
And so I need to upload it and put it into the capture page.
Video?
Huh?
What's the cost of the video?
No. It's just to get the people information. It's free.
Oh, the video is free.
It's a free 99. They call free. Yeah, it's a free, just the capture page. I want to get your name and email and phone number if you give it to me. I'm not sure if I had that clicked or not, but yeah. Not to call people and sell them or anything, just to be able to send them drumming information.
So before
yeah.
before you download the video, what do you have to prepare? What do you have to do?
I already have the capture page. I already did it. It's been sitting there for 2 years.
So you have nothing else to do before you click that download button?
Well, I need to study how the process works, but I don't need to do that. They can click right now, they can click it, and I need to be able to send it to a Google document or something.
Okay, so right now,
so they can download the video.
Reason why you haven't done it yet is because you don't know how, and that's why you've been procrastinating and doing it.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know how. I know what I need to do, but I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, so I need the steps.
That's beautiful. So what we're gonna do this week is not download it, not stress yourself out. We're going to merely research how to download the document.
So I can upload it to YouTube. That I already know how to do. I can just have it sitting on my YouTube page. But I need to do the private YouTube, because if anybody can see it, it's kind of like, why would somebody give me their information?
Okay, so exactly what it is that you need to do, I want you to research how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, because that's why you haven't done it yet. You've been procrastinating on doing it, not because of the fear of failure, but because we don't know how to do it. And sometimes that's why we procrastinate. So that's the only task. Okay, that's step number one. So, and the third question is, who is it that you need to be in proximity with to do it? So I'm gonna leave that out of it because you can research it. If you need help, go.
Yeah, I'm around all different kind of communities. I just need to do it so that I can offer it, be not, stop saying I'm gonna. Yeah.
This is your community next week.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be around these people all weekend. So I'm gonna be making contacts, and
I am your coach.
It's going to be this kind of conversation that we're having all weekend, like thousands of people. So
next week, all you're going to show me is that I now know how to do it.
And no, honey, I've been. Great. But anyway, yes, the minimum of what I'm going to do. So thank you. Absolutely.
Okay. Beautiful lady. What is it that you would like to achieve that you haven't yet achieved?
Well, for me, I want to be my own boss, so I've created my own company. And as you know, my intention is to use my voice to nourish people's souls. And that is what I do through yoga. And for me also to get over my fear, I had to go on Facebook Live. I created Facebook groups so that I can hold myself accountable. And you are the one that helped me accountable enough to open up the yoga studio in Noble Goldman. And I'm teaching every week. And I'm in close proximity to my teachers here in New Orleans where we practice. And I learn from them so much. As far as having teachers, I am surrounded by wonderful teachers. Like LaTroy is a wonderful teacher to me. He's always encouraging me and sending me videos and teaching me things. And he's such a wonderful man. I'm so glad to see you here today. He's such a phenomenal coach. And I wish you nothing but the best. And you also, Arlene. And Dennis, I want to get your book when it's ready. And Omeka and I have been connecting wonderfully lately. And she was actually my student the other day. We practiced wonderful yoga together. And yeah, I just want to use my voice to nourish people's souls, and I just want to make the world better. My company is all the products that I create are from my own heart, from intuition, because I've worked very hard since I was a little girl, working for people, doing all kinds of stuff. Now the universe had gifted me, like when I something happened for me, which was hurting myself, and I could not work anymore. I had to stop working because my body just couldn't take it. That is when I found yoga, and that is when I found this Valerie came into my life, and that is when Noble Goldman came into my life. That's when Bob Proctor came into my life, and that is how you all came into my life. So I believe that everything that's coming into my life is because I am manifesting it. I am creating it in my mind, and just so that's what I want to do. I just want to be my own boss and use my voice to notice people's souls. My products are in the works. I have a website that's almost finished, and you're gonna see it out there. It bears my name, and so sometimes I do have doubt. Doubt is what keeps me kind of stuck sometimes, because I'm like, oh God, what are people gonna say? But I'm working hard to kind of eliminate that, just kind of throw that away, because I don't have any control over what people are gonna say, just leave it to the universe. So.
Wonderful. And you know what I always say? What people think of you is none of your business. It's none of your business. It's personal.
Thank you.
So be your own boss. I love it. You're moving forward. Our time is coming to an end, far spent. Give me one action that you're going to take this week that will illuminate you in terms of your vision.
Well, the action that I'm taking right now, I'm meeting with my web designer. So we're talking about pictures and writing. The story is already written. So it's just, he's going to show me how everything's working. And we're just kind of tweaking some other little things, and then Etsy, putting things on Etsy, and then talking to somebody who's a little bit better with social media. So everything is coming together.
That you're selling on the website is what?
The products that I'm selling on the website, they're homemade essential oils and body butters that I've created in my own heart, and very, very excited about it. It's been a lot of work. It's been almost 3 years now in the works, and they're finally coming to fruition to share with the world. So
excellent. So I don't have to ask you why you haven't done it in the past, because you're doing it now and you have a plan for this week. And so I applaud you. I applaud all of you. You guys you're doing things. You're crushing it. One of the secrets we talked today about proximity, getting around people who are crushing it, people who are doing it, who inspire you, who uplift you, who help you to be who you're called to be in the world. And that's what we did today. So thank you so much for spending this time, even though we went over a few minutes, but I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. And then you're going to give me all of your victories. Okay. And then we're going to move on to the next step, because iron sharpeneth iron. So we're moving forward. And as we move forward, everybody that's around us is also being lifted up. It's called the collective consciousness. Thank you so much. See you guys.
Thank you.